Russian troop movements near Ukraine border prompt concern in the U.S. A renewed buildup of Russian troops near the Ukrainian border has raised concern among some officials in the United States and Europe who are tracking what they consider irregular movements of equipment and personnel on Russia's western flank. The renewed movements of Russian forces in the area come as the Kremlin embraces a harder line on Ukraine. Russian officials, from President Vladimir Putin on down, have escalated their rhetoric in recent months, attacking Kiev's western ties and even questioning its sovereignty. Putin has warned that any expansion of NATO military infrastructure on Ukrainian territory represents a red line for Moscow. The situation also comes as the simmering 7.5-year conflict between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed separatists in the eastern Donbas region enters a new stage. On October 26, Ukraine's military confirmed it had used a Turkish-made drone against a position in Donbas, the first time Kiev has employed the technology in combat, prompting an outcry from Moscow. What the Russian forces gathering near the Ukrainian border are doing is unclear. Videos have surfaced on social media in recent days showing Russian military trains and convoys moving large quantities of military hardware, including tanks and missiles, in southern and western Russia. The point is, it is not a drill. It doesn't appear to be a training exercise. Something is happening. What is it? Said Michael Kaufman, director of the Russia Studies program at the Virginia-based nonprofit analysis group CNA. According to Kaufman, satellite imagery shows that forces from Russia's 41st Combined Arms Army, normally based in the Siberian city of Novosibirsk, didn't return to Siberia after the exercises and instead linked up with other Russian forces near the Ukrainian border. Kaufman also said imagery appears to show that Russia's 1st Guards Tank Army, an elite unit based outside Moscow, is moving personnel and material toward Ukraine. Alexei Danilov, Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, said in a statement that after the conclusion of the Zapad 2021 exercises, Russia left military equipment as well as control and communication centers at training sites along the Ukrainian border. Danilov estimated that the number of Russian troops deployed around the Ukrainian border at 80,000 to 90,000, not including the tens of thousands stationed in Crimea. Moscow has prompted alarm by amassing large contingents of troops near the Ukrainian border in the past, only to subsequently withdraw those forces and quell fears of a renewed invasion of Ukraine. Ukrainian officials see such moves as a way for Moscow to keep the situation tense and uncertain. Since 2015, when the front lines of the conflict more or less froze in place, the buildups haven't led to a mass territory-gaining offensive by Russia or the separatist forces it backs.
We need to understand the professional level of this volunteer. If you are a patriot, if you want to fight for Ukraine, you have to be alive. You have to be effective on front line. We don't need dead patriots.
Kaufman said this time the situation may merit particular attention. However, because Russia appears to have lowered its threshold for what would prompt the Kremlin to act in Ukraine. U.S. troops have been training Ukrainian forces in western Ukraine for years, an initiative undertaken by Washington and its NATO allies after Russia annexed Crimea in 2014. Ukrainian forces have also participated in joint exercises with the United States and its NATO allies. The United States has provided Ukraine with Javelin anti-tank weaponry but has not taken any active role in fighting.